I'm having somewhat of a religious crisis. Not in the fact of not believing in God or Jesus or the Holy Spirit, but just in the way of um, presentations, um, um, politics being involved in religion, things that I know that are real, but other people have not experienced it and don't believe in it. Um, Being so black and white, one way or the other, um, when when in certain situations you're given um, a gray area that could be right. And I've had this crisis, religious crisis, for many, many years now. I guess when I was little, I kind of just went with everything that was happening, like going to church on Wednesdays and Sundays, and trying to listen to what was going on. Um, but once I was a teenager in college, I wanted to learn more about my religion and the Bible. So I started attending a more fundamental Baptist church, and it was helpful. It was very educational, spiritual, beneficial, good for my soul. I think that um, once things happened in my home, I was able to find a safe place at a different church, and um, eventually those kinds of churches ended up being at my parents' church, which is nice. Hello. So I am struggling with certain churches, and even that church that I found safety and knowledge and practical skills in life, even those churches I've found that they don't accept mental illness. They think it's fake, or people can somehow snap out of it um, when it's a lot more complicated than that. And churches aren't meant to be a psychiatric ward, they're meant for worshiping. So sometimes I feel like some of the comments about it are unnecessary, even though sometimes it's a part of the life. Um, I don't think people should be looked down on for having, let's say, depression. So that's where my crisis comes in, is I believe that you should get help for things like depression, because they are real things, and some even churches in my past that are along down the ways in the state, who are more ABA or Baptist, like regular, I don't even know what to call them, um, they're completely against it. Like, they'll make skits about it, um, involving children, and the children are indoctrinated that it's fake and it's stupid and it's worldly and the solutions are bad. And um, I'm 32. And yes, a lot of people in the mental health system are educated on more theories and science, and they're not, just like religion is not meant to be a hospital or whatever. Therapists and psychiatrists are not necessarily religious. They have a specialization on illnesses and um, being able to get people to open up about things that are bothering them, or like that they need to let out because they've bottled it up for so long. And there's a need. Sometimes I feel like churches can even start a mental health ministry, and it's kind of like what I'm trying to do on here is like be more open and be able to talk to people and um, try to help when I can. um, I think sometimes that they do more harm, certain churches do more harm than good when they're talking down on um, illnesses, and who is God really wanting someone to just bad, you're sinful, shame on you all the time? Like, I don't know, like that's where my crisis comes in, is like not feeling comfortable. I don't, this is so like rebellious, but being judged. Like, people who are rebelling feel like they're being judged, but it's not a rebellion to have needs, special needs for your disability. Um, and one person in particular told me that the devil's got a hold of me, and it's the spirit world and the demons that are showing me these things through hallucinations, delusions, paranoia. And I don't know, like, I've thought of that, but a lot of the um, a lot of the hallucinations don't really make all that much sense. So even if evil was speaking to me, I'm not getting a clear message from them, spirits, demons, whatever. So their their goal was not accomplished. So I feel like it's just a random disorder, random disconnections in my mind, it feels like a whole different dimension. I think I've said that so many times, it's just annoying now, but it feels like a different dimension. Like I feel like my body's in it, but I know like the surroundings, the scenario, the people, the faces, the um, things included are just not really there. Like one time I was in an ambulance and driving down a road, and all I saw was like a little lights and darkness, and it just seemed so fake. And getting to the emergency room, like, just felt like they all had a plan of like putting me in a crematory and burning me alive and things like that. It's just like, but what's the purpose? Like, it just like is a disorder. And so just talking to people and going through the motions, like that's all you can really do. You can't like say, okay, I'm fine now. Like, you have to let it play out. And crematory is like fire, I guess. You just kind of have to let it play out. Like, I ended up, my mom had visited, and it felt like she sold me. I was like, well, can't do anything about that. And then she left, and then they put me in another very bare, different ambulance with a guy or two, and they drove me to like these holding cells that were like underground sort of cement rooms, and people would come in and vibrations would come out of their bodies, and I would just sign whatever they wanted me to sign, and they gave me food, and then I would look out the window of the room, and I was like, okay, yeah, I can totally make this work. I can live like this. That's fine. They give me food. I peed in the corner. I don't know where I would have gone to the bathroom. I just like gross, but that's all that there was, and I didn't know what to do. And then I looked out in the hall. I walked around and I saw the other patients in their rooms, and they looked very distressed and very under not so good mental capacities. And then like the police officers came, and there were random people walking down the halls, and then finally they allowed me to go back to a normal ward. So I don't really know what all that was about, other than I needed medication to stop the hallucinations. That's still, you could wait it out, but there's no guarantee that like they would just go away on their own. So I was given medication, and I don't think that should be looked down on. If someone has so much stress in their life, their genes hereditarily have genes that you could fall under hallucinations. I don't think that the religions that I'm a part of should be So I don't know. I feel like the people are old enough to look into it and think about how some people are affected, stressors, genes, different things like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm not giving them enough grace to um figure it out. Give them more time to figure it out. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like if I try to tell them, I will just come out a blubbering mess. So I end up just bottling it up, and it comes out here, and maybe that's as good as it gets. I don't know. But I don't know. Like, if I'm not gonna change anything, I should be happy with what I have. Like, there's other good aspects of the Baptist religion. But I wore this shirt for a reason. I am also having a religious crisis because of the people that a lot of the people that I go to church with are supporting of, and they have the same ideologies, like of like Trump and the black and white of it all, the Project 2025. I have a hard time believing that we should be one way or another. I feel like the Christian way is somewhere in between, somewhere in trying to do the right thing and being practical. Some people are the way that they are, and you're not going to change them. You can always try to be a light to people, but I don't think like having so many laws restricting the things that they feel are right, or even if it is sin, then that is their sin and you can't force them to not do it if they're gonna do it. You can be a community for them, and hi Kyle. You can be a community for them. You can be a light. You can tell them about Jesus. But ultimately, I don't think that where a certain person wants it to head is the right way. And I feel like lying and manipulating and cheating and all that is the right thing to do, or the right thing a politician should do. We should not vote for that kind of behavior. So there's many parts of religion that I've grown up in where I find some faults in. I love God, I love Jesus, I love the Holy Spirit, and I think this country is good. But I don't want it run by someone who is not good for our country. I don't think either one of the politicians is going to be great at running the country, but there's basically two separate, different parties. I don't think that churches should encourage either one. I don't even think it is the right thing to do to vote. I don't really vote. I usually let it pass. When Trump wasn't as severely crazy, I voted for him once. Yeah, I don't think the outcome of this election is going to change the outcome of the universe in the end. I don't think it's that serious. And it's a lack of trust if we say one person is gonna end everything, because that's up to God. Ultimately, He is our authority. But yeah, there's lots of icky ideas. I think there's a lot of other countries that have a lot of different things that are good about them. Like healthcare being in the system already, like the healthcare that we have through our jobs and stuff. Like in Europe, there's healthcare because everyone works. It's not just that individual, it's through our taxes. And I think that's good. Like, there's a lot less homeless people because they're able to access care for them to be able to work and support themselves. And another thing is like, I want a better system for our cars. I don't know if electric cars are necessarily the answer, but I know that it's not safe the way that we drive, and so many variables and the people behind the wheel. I think there might better be more restrictions on the age of the vehicle, the person behind the wheel. Like, my grandpa was like 90 when he stopped driving, and like imagining like my dad being 90 and driving is a scary thought. Or if you're sick, like I drove my car when I was hallucinating. And I don't know how I got out of that alive, because there were many, many, many differences from reality. So I don't know in reality what I was doing. And there's many dangers that can be solved, hopefully, with a new president. With new ideas. But it's okay. We'll all be okay. But yeah, that's all I really have for today. Just like a religious crisis, political stuff, and beliefs, and mental health. I am doing better with my depression, taking lithium, trying to get out and do things, trying to finish my house. So everything is getting better. And I went to a different church today, and I feel like I might continue to. Just have to try to discover more about it. I am my own person, so I need to explore what is right for me religiously. And my heart is just kind of aching. Because, I don't know, I think there's lots of trials that happen in life, and I've gone through some of the biggest. And I need to I need to keep searching. So yeah. Talk to you guys later.